When is the best time to sell in San Diego? Hello, everybody. My name is Roxanne Govari with Pemberley Realty here in San Diego, California, along with my partner, Santiago Guerin.
Hello, everyone. Another great topic. We're going to go a little bit more into detail of when's the best time to sell in San Diego and, some good pointers that we have. So let's go right to it.
Let's get right to it. And before we do that, let us remind you, if you are watching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. So as we are bringing you different topics, you can get notification. And of course, if you are watching us on Facebook, we'd love to hear from you. So please give us likes, give us comments, and ask us questions, and post them out there so that we can take a look and respond to you right away. That way, we have an interactive communication, and we will have more fun.
Definitely. Definitely.
All right. Okay. So, when is the best time to sell in San Diego? Well, guess what? It's now. Woohoo! So spring is the best time to sell in most markets, and generally, most of the time, spring is the best time. Um, that's when that's when the flowers start blooming. That's when the weather starts getting better. That's when just because the nature is renewing itself. Then there's a lot of excitement and there's better weather. And of course, that better weather and excitement translates into us humans, and we want to move.
Yeah.
So that's the best time to actually put the house on the market. Um, the other reason is most people most people are connected to schools in one way or another. They either have kids that are in school, or they're buying homes that are connected to the kids with school, or they're grandparents and they want to be closer to their kids. They're young families that they want to have kids, so they want to expand or change their lifestyles in order to anticipate for the kid coming. So
Yeah.
schools, kids moving, expanding, contracting has a lot to do. They're all connected to each other.
Yeah.
That being the case, people want to move before the new school year starts,
Yeah.
and that's why spring is a great time, because you happen to if you're moving in spring, you happen to basically set yourself up so that you go through the summer holiday, and then the September or August or September, your kid can start in the new school.
Yeah. And already settled into the new home, after.
Exactly.
Because usually it takes a little bit of time to kind of adjust and everything. So,
Exactly.
mhm.
So yeah, that's the reason why spring becomes a strong market. And so from March till May, you have the strongest buyer activity, and that's when the inventory increases, and that's when you want to get your home out there. And this does not mean that other months are not good months. It's just that you're probably going to get the highest amount of money for your home if you're listing it in the spring.
Yeah. And yeah, you have more of a variety of buyers, like during the holidays, like in, Christmas time, you're probably only going to be getting like really, really serious buyers when or now you can have a little bit more of a scope of people that
Exactly.
are barely starting to look, that are, all
Exactly.
so,
Yeah. And so San Diego is a little bit unique in that sense, though,
mhm.
because our weather doesn't have a wild swing like you get in on the East Coast, right? So you could argue that, well, San Diego, you can purchase at any time in San Diego. Why would it need to be spring?
Yeah, yeah,
one of the reasons why spring is still more important than other seasons is because people are moving all around the all around the country, right? So if you put your house on the market and your buyer is an East Coast buyer, then if they're in the middle of the winter and they're buried under snow, they probably are not going to be thinking about it. So spring is a good time. Or here's another one, because I'm a New Yorker. I used to live in New York and I used to experience all the snow. By the time March, April, May comes in, I'm sick of that snow. I want to get out of here and get into warmer weather. So that's another reason why spring could be beneficial for a San Diego seller, because you put your house on the market and all of a sudden you may get one of those East Coasters that are just ready, and the timing could not be any more perfect for them to get into a home.
Very true. Very true.
So let's see what else. What else about the San Diego market that is good that we have to share with our audience? Job relocation. Job relocation. San Diego. We are lucky in the fact that we have a diverse economy.
Mhm.
We have a strong military base. We are the third largest biotech. Uh, um, we have the third largest biotech concentration of all the biotech companies
Yeah.
within our country, and and we have a lot of hospitality jobs. We have so in general, our economy is diverse because we have a lot of tech jobs, we have a lot of military jobs, we have a lot of hospitality jobs, and we of course we have a lot of entrepreneurs like ourselves,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So that means that we have people coming and going all the time, and that creates a strong market that's unique to San Diego, at least compared to some other cities. Well,
Yeah.
for example, we might not be as robust as San Francisco or LA, but I would say we're probably better than Santa Barbara or Sacramento
Yeah.
in terms of our economy.
Yeah.
What
Or
else are you
even,
thinking?
yeah, or even, a place, in the middle of the US where there might not be much other things, definitely here in San Diego, you have a lot of, I would say, a lot of competition for buying, right?
Absolutely. And you compare us. I don't know what else can you compare us to. The one that I'm thinking that's very similar in terms of market to San Diego would be Austin, Texas.
Hmm.
But what I hear about Austin, Texas is Austin has actually built a lot of homes, and so there is a large amount of inventory and there's a lot of supply and not enough demand, and that's has contributed to the Austin market being very soft. Our market,
Which is opposite here.
well, we have also built a lot of homes, right? Or at least a lot of apartments, but the majority of the apartments that have been built in San Diego are rental apartments.
Exactly.
Therefore, we don't have as much for sale inventory, so we don't have the issue that Austin is suffering from.
Yeah. Which
So
right now, I mean, that's basically helping sellers here in San Diego.
yeah, and if you look at the inventory, our inventory is consistently low. When we're doing our market updates, which we will do next week about the same time, we'll look at the inventory, but it seems like we're always basically we're always a seller's market. Very rarely we turn into a buyer's market.
Mhm.
Last year we actually did turn into a buyer's market, but that's more of a anomaly, not the norm of
Yeah.
what's happening.
Hmm.
So okay, let's talk about when is the best time, and is it spring or is it when the inventory is low?
Well, like we just said right now, I mean, inventory has been low, so
Yeah, exactly. Inventory has been low, and when inventory is low, sellers have leverage, and they have more opportunity to get multiple offers. I was talking to one of our sellers and he was talking about the fact that um, that he really wants to he when he sells his house and when he wants to move, that he wants to make sure that he has a little bit of time so that he can move his things and doesn't have to be stressed. And that kind of leverage would have to come with um, um, having multiple offers so that you get the upper hand with that.
mhm. Yeah.
So um, so again, the inventory has a lot to do with it. And the interesting thing that I have seen is sometimes, well, spring is always good no matter what. No matter if the market is soft or not, spring is always good. But sometimes even in other times of the year, it still is a good time to sell if
Yeah.
the inventory is low and if you can have leverage.
Yeah.
Or if for whatever reason, some other factors, like for example, if interest rate changes and we're in the middle of September, October, and it's not the prime time to sell, but but interest rates change, you bet you market is going to pick up from that
Yeah.
um, event.
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay, speaking of interest rate is one of those factors, right? If prices drop, you get more buyers. If
Yeah.
interest rates drop, you also get a lot more buyers. So it comes down to that word that we're hearing a lot lately, affordability.
Mm-hmm.
That being the case, though, I think it also is important to note that young people,
Mm-hmm.
wink, wink, young people, a lot of the times, young people think that, oh, I just can't do this. This is just so hard. But the reality of the matter is, we older people were young one day, right? And when we got into the market, those of us that actually had the privilege of buying,
Mm-hmm.
we also made a lot of sacrifices, and we got into homes um, not as easily as you guys think.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just have to basically get in whenever you can. And if you are a seller, as long as you price your property correctly, then you're going to attract buyers no matter what.
Yeah. And all types of buyers too.
All types of buyers too. Exactly.
And what is your prediction to the interest rates? There's been a lot of news lately. What are your thoughts? You think we can see them drop a little bit more, or they're gonna stay the same? What do you think?
You know, I was having this conversation with my sister the other day.
Hmm.
And my sister was like, well, if interest rates turn out to be this or turn out to be that, we can do this and we can do that. And and we actually had this conversation that we are at about 6% interest rate right now.
Hmm.
And that historical averages, if you're considering historical averages, 6% interest rate is not a bad interest rate.
Hmm.
And also, the other thing to consider is that interest rates that everybody is thinking that they want us to have, the 2% interest rate, the 3% interest rate, those interest rates are interest rates of wartime, they're interest rates of pandemic time, and their interest rate of Great Recession time. And who wants those?
Yeah, I don't think anybody does.
So therefore, we cannot hope for 2 to 3% interest rate, because with that low of interest also comes misery.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not trade lower interest rate for misery.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it basically, if that's the case, then what you want to work on is build your credit, build your savings and your down payment, and also build your income. And if you're building those three things, then you should be able to get you may not be able to get into into your dream home, but you should be able to get yourself into a home. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, you just build up and you build up and you move up, and uh, get
Yeah.
into your dream home at some point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now timing for selling.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was talking about this in a reel that I made a couple of days ago. Um, our father passed away, and a couple of years ago, and it's been very, very difficult to uh, get things into the point of being able to sell our family home, which was located in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And timing is everything, like they always say, right? And we had a price set on the family home to sell, and uh, we were relying on a representative for us to actually set the price. And at the time he had set the price, and there was a buyer that was interested, but not at the price that he had set, at a much lower price.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about it, and of course we didn't know, and we were relying on our representative. And of course, hindsight is always 2020. You never know how things turn up. Uh, if we had sold the property at that point, we would have had a much better outcome out of that sale.
Mm-hmm.
But our representative was saying that price was too low, so we waited, and then we got into the 12-day war, and then we got into the destabilization, and we ended up selling the property. But uh, if we had sold it way before all of this, we would have had a much better exchange rate, and out of that exchange rate, we would have had a much better outcome. We ended up selling the property, but because of the exchange rate, we got almost half of that.
Yeah.
Now, set that aside and look at what's happening now. You can still say timing still worked out, because if it was now, then it would have been completely out of
Yeah.
the question, and we would have lost everything. So so when you want to sell, there is a lot of factors that you have to consider, not just the price of the home, but other factors are also important. Of course, the timing is important, the season is important, but also your goals are important. Your personal goals are important. So it's always better, when you are thinking of selling, to look at this as a whole entire picture, and not just focus on one point. And one point is the price, but that is not the only
Yeah.
aspect of the whole goal that you have to consider when you're thinking of selling.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of factors you got to take into place. The sell at a certain amount, could be the least of the worries, depending your circumstances. So
Exactly. Exactly. So and of course, it's important when you're thinking of those to consult a professional,
yeah,
because there is a lot. It's almost like driving,
yeah,
right? You're If you don't have side mirrors and rear view mirrors, then your vision is very limited. You can't see everything. You can't see all the dangers. You can't see all of the aspects, and you may make a fatal mistake. And that's the reason why you consult a professional. That's the reason why you hire a realtor, because a realtor becomes your side mirrors. A realtor becomes your real rear view mirror, and they may not be able to see everything either, right? But the more that you consult the professional, the better outcome you're going to have, the more protected you're going to be, and most likely the more money you're going to make. So thinking that, okay, no, I'm going to just sell directly to the next investor that's going to send me a notification, that may not be the best outcome. As a matter of fact, 99% of the time, it is the worst outcome that you can elect without hiring a professional that can represent you and look out for your interests.
definitely, definitely. That's why we're here, right?
That's why we're here. So, on that note, let's let's put it out there. If you guys are thinking of buying or selling, there is my phone number, and happy to hear from you at all times. And there is Santiago's phone number. He's also happy to hear from you at all times. And we also like to hang out on Instagram. So if you are watching us on Instagram, please give us a follow. And if you are watching us on Facebook, please do the same. And also, you can find us on our website at pamberleyrealty.com, where we're always happy to hear from you. And of course, if you're seeing us on YouTube, what do you want them to do, Santi?
Thumbs up and subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we will bring you these shows at all times as we are posting them.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining today. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See you on the next one.